again. I'm really lucky because today I've got Nuah here with me, who I know from flower arranging, and she is originally from Iraq, and she's going to show us how to make Lokum, which means
Turkish delight.
outstanding. So here's our hot plate and our pan, and we're going to put in there, Nuah, what's the first thing? Is it some water?
The sugar first.
But why do we need to put the sugar in first? Is there a good reason?
Yes, I think it dissolves easier once you, when you put the water.
So this is just starting to warm up and just starting to dissolve. Nuah, tell me about Turkish delight in Baghdad and how, do you just go into, a supermarket and buy it in Baghdad?
Oh no. There are specialist families that's been making Turkish delight for many generations, and they are. It's very it's interesting because we don't buy a small amount of Turkish delight because there's always people around us, so we always buy kilograms of this stuff. So making it at home doesn't really make is feasible. So there we go and buy them from these specialist shops, and each area has got one family who would specialise in making them.
And so they're all slightly different?
Slightly different flavours as well.
Different textures?
Yes. And if you find the one that you like, then you keep going back to the same family.
Yes, and what are the shops like?
They're quite small, air-conditioned, but you could tell. I remember going with my aunt and my grandmother, and as you walk in, open the door, and it's like a fog of corn flour and icing sugar. But yes,
so you buy it, the Turkish delight, and you wear most of it as well.
Exactly. Yes.
So there are different varieties.
Varieties. Like the everyday one is just flavoured with lemon and walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
That you have with your in the morning with your Turkish coffee, which is.
So you have it every day, sort of.
Most families do in the morning. Yes, it's a special part of the social interactions, really.
We're trying to get it up to 120 degrees.
Yes.
So while we're waiting, you were talking about the coffee, and do you make Turkish coffee, or is it called Turkish coffee?
Yes,
or is it Iraqi coffee? Or?
No. Even in Iraq, they call it Turkish coffee.
Okay, so what's special about it?
It is actually the coffee beans are different to the ones you get in Europe.
Right.
I don't know what variety it is, however, and they roast it to very high temperature, and then they ground it, and it's really is quite bitter taste. To take that bitterness away, they ground cardamom seeds and add it to the coffee.
You were saying this is still a nice colour.
It's still clear, it's very white, that's what we want, we aim for that colour.
Yeah.
So when we put the food colouring, it would interfere with it.
Yeah. And you wanted to show us the Iraqi way of testing the temperature.
If you don't have a sugar thermometer, this is the easy way of doing it. A bowl of cold water, a spoonful of the syrup, and you just pour it in. And if it solidifies, which it has, then we have reached the right temperature.
May I have a feel?
Yeah.
Got it, thank you.
I put a big blob.
Oh yeah, I can feel it getting. It's really
hard. It's
hard
sticking
on
to the bottom.
It's sticking to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like putty.
Yes.
And it's actually, as I feel it, I can feel the surface being even harder.
Yes.
That's 100 millilitres of water. And I'm just going to heat up in the microwave.
Yeah.
You've got the gelatin.
I've got the gelatin. It's
So
it's a sachet. It's already measured.
Yep.
So that's all the gelatin in.
I'm going to try and give you half a teaspoon, I think, of vanilla extract.
I'm pouring the gelatin mixture onto the cool syrup mixture.
And I've now got the stirring job.
You're doing very well.
Oh, thank you.
It's mixing well. Keep.
I will stir frantically. Now, although we've known each other for years from flower arranging, I hadn't realised until we were chatting this morning that you've got Navy connections too.
Yes.
You used to work at the Naval Hospital at Haslar.
Yes.
Just down in Gosport.
Indeed I did.
So what were you doing at Haslar?
Well, I worked in the path lab, in the biochemistry department, and worked with the tri-service personnel.
So that's Army, Navy and RAF.
Yes. And they were a really nice bunch of people. Had a great time with them. We worked hard and also we played hard.
So a tablespoonful of pistachios, shelled but not yet crushed.
We reached the stage now where we need to put the rose water.
So what colour should we go with today?
Pale pink.
Not cerise.
Cerise.
We could colour it to match one's dress or something, couldn't you? This is our lightly buttered tin. And now Nuah's going to control me as I try and pour this pink sticky mixture into it. We just find the tin and then we're going to sprinkle it with some crushed pistachios. And now into the fridge for about 15 minutes, being very careful. So it's been in here for about 20 minutes and that's looking and feeling, why do I say looking? Fairly firm. Here we go, Nuah. We can try the second layer now. So that's a second thin layer on the top, back in the fridge overnight?
Definitely overnight.
Yep.
I turned out the cold mixture onto a tray covered with mixture of icing sugar and corn flour, and I cut them into a cube about 2.5 centimeters, and that's the right size.
That's very precise. Is there some reason for that?
Yes, because it's quite a strong concentration of sugar, but it goes very well with the bitter Turkish coffee. And
so you get one piece of Turkish Delight and 1 cup of coffee, and that's your ration.
that is our ration.
I think it's too hot for coffee, so we'll just take it
so.
with the water.
With the water.
And here is your Lokum. And thank you very much, Nuah, for showing me how to do this.
It is.
Cheers with water.
Cheers. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. So that's Lokum, homemade Turkish Delight. Keeps well in the fridge for 2 or 3 weeks, if you can resist that long. All the recipes are on my website, www.bakingblind.com.